These are 5 controversial tips that you, as a real estate agent, need to hear. And I'm sorry ahead of time because it might offend you, and guess what? That probably means it applies. Tip number 1, your job as a real estate professional is to make a profit. And I used to feel so bad about this early in my career. I felt bad for charging people with my time to go show them homes and do things, or to meet a seller and say they have to pay me 2 or 3 or 4%. And what would happen is I would end up cutting my services. So I would charge less and less and less. I would give more and more and more, and then what would happen is I have to work with more clients to earn a living, and so now I'm spreading myself thin, giving a worse service, not getting referrals because I'm not performing, and then my clients are frustrated because they're saying, hey, why aren't you able to do this? Because I'm so busy with so many other people. You need to charge a fair price and make a profit. No exceptions. Tip number 2, you can't be going through the motions. You have to play to win, which means if you meet a buyer or seller and they're not your client, you need to do whatever it takes. You need to move mountains to earn their business, and that could be bonuses and gifts or excellent experience or picking them up for the airport. It doesn't matter. And here's an example. We got a Zillow lead, one of my agents did one time, and they called about a $3 million multifamily home. They go and show the property to them, and it turns out the client already has a real estate agent that's a family friend. And he goes, you know, thanks for your services. I think I'm actually just gonna make an offer with this person. Now on this deal, the seller side was offering a 3% commission, $3 million sales price, 3% commission, $90,000 of GCI. The agent thought he lost the deal, and I said, no, it's not over until they have a fully signed executed contract between them and their agent. Because a lot of agents will sign a buyer, but then they won't get it executed and give it back. There's another side to that. And so we called the buyer and we got a hold of him, and I said, hey, on this deal, I will give you a $30,000 credit and get all of your closing costs paid for. Guess what? We got the deal done, and we may have lost $30,000, but it was a $3 million price point. So $60,000, that's okay with me. You have to play to win. Number 3, no one is going to save you and no one is going to do the work for you. I've had an incredible life, and I've been able to travel and eat and go out to restaurants and not stress about these things for many years because I was willing to sit down 5, 6, 7 days a week for 8 to 12 hours a day sometimes to do the hard work. And as a real estate agent, that means you sit down for 8 hours straight and you cold call and you knock on doors and you do open houses and you talk to person after person and you get rejected over and over, and you get called names and told to F off and doors slammed in your face, and you have to do it because nobody is going to do that job for you. And if you don't accept this and say, wow, I'm gonna eat this shit and I'm gonna hate it, but on the other side of this, 1, 2, 3 years later, it's all worth it, you're going to succeed. But I've met so many agents that they blame me for their lack of commitment to making the phone calls or doing the door knocking or doing the thing they need to do. And I say, fine, it's my fault, now what? And many of them will go back to their other jobs, working a part-time or doing Uber, and there's nothing wrong with that, but when they take this commitment, many people don't understand that nobody is going to save you and only you can do the work. Controversial tip number 4, you're not as good as you think you are. I'm so sorry, but you are not a world-class real estate agent. And here's how I know. If I say to you right now, and off the top of your head, can you answer me, will you cut your commission if I work with you right now? Do you have an immediate answer and you know exactly what to say? And try it, give it a shot, pause this video and see if you can respond. Or if I say, hey, I'm a high profile renter or buyer, actually I think I'm just gonna rent instead. Do you have an immediate response that you know exactly what to say within seconds without second guessing? That is what world-class sounds like. To take it even a step further, is your listing presentation so good that I could call you, wake you up at 3 in the morning and make you just immediately jump into the listing presentation? Because my old friend David and I, we used to do this. We would call each other at 3 a.m. and without even opening my eyes, I could start reciting my listing presentation. And I took it as far as hiring a psychologist to listen and watch my listing presentation with her. And I asked asked her to give me feedback on how I could do it better so I could convert more sellers to working with me. That is what a world-class person does, because you're chasing those little 2% improvements. And when you get so good at one thing like expired calls or listings, you don't have to do anything else. You don't need 4 or 5 lead sources. You don't need open houses, door knocking, direct mail, pay-per-click, Google. Because if you just have one listing lead source, if you're just listing expireds and crushing the appointment, you can sell 50 homes a year doing that. You can earn 200,000, 400,000, 800,000 in GCI on that one single lead source, but you have to be at the top of the skill, because all the money is made by the person that is the best, and second place gets nothing. And finally, number 5, and you might not like it, is you need to reverse engineer your competition. So you might actually get a phone number, like a fake phone number, Google Voice. You might call 4 or 5 agents in your zip code or through Zillow and pretend to be a seller, and you're gonna write down everything they say and what they're gonna do, and you're gonna create a fake email, and you're gonna test and see what their follow-up looks like, because you want to know what your competition is doing so you can be 2, 3, or 4 or 5 times better than them. But if you don't know where they're at, it's hard to do that. And when I tell this to agents, sometimes they say, oh, you shouldn't do that, you're wasting your time. And yeah, you're probably right, but I'm here to win, and I am here to earn an amazing living and run this business that makes money and build the best gosh darn real estate brokerage anyone could ever imagine. And when I look at it from that perspective of I am building the best thing possible, all of this other stuff, I'm really not worried about it, because my only focus is how do we provide the very best services to our agents and to our clients. And when you do that, no matter what, if you think about that every day, you will succeed. If you like this content, do me a favor, click the black and white subscribe button below. Costs you nothing, means everything to me. And if you're like, wow, I need to start winning more, send this to a friend that's an agent and be like, yo, let's start winning together. Because when you build a circle around you that starts winning, it causes everybody in the circle to raise up. Rising tides raise all boats. As always, aloha.